I'm not really sure how to start this video, but I was at Goodwill the other day and found a pretty good, nice pair of skates, and my friend has been wanting some roller skates, so I thought I would get these for her, and you know, I don't know, I'd probably change them a little bit, but I just started by taking these little like gold dots off. They were kind of just painted on the vinyl boot, but I was using like little alcohol pads, and that was doing a pretty good job. But after taking off the dots off of these skates, I didn't like the little residue. Like, you could still see like a little bit of the dot. It was kind of weird, and there was glitter on there. So what I ended up doing after taking all these gold dots off, I got some acrylic paint and painted over the entire boot, like the vinyl part, not the sole or the heel, because that was already black plastic and you don't really want to paint over plastic. But after I painted that, I decided to change the color of the wheels, which you can with fabric dye. You can change the color of like the rubber part of the wheel, not the plastic inner part if it is plastic, but if it's solid rubber then you can change the color. But what I ended up doing was boiling some water, putting it in a bucket, and putting the dye in there. And while that was dyeing, I took out, before you dye it, you take out the bearings because you don't want bearings to get wet. But I took out the bearings and cleaned them while the wheels were dyeing. And that's basically all I did. Just in case you don't know how to remove wheels from a roller skate, I'm going to show you here in a second, and I'll also show you how to take off bearings. I also forgot to mention that I am removing the bolt-on toe stops on this skate to also dye with the wheels. You can also try and use hairspray, which I use to get the permanent marker off of. But other than that, rubbing alcohol works pretty good for basically anything. If you do decide to dye wheels, make sure that you do not splash the dye anywhere, like on the floor or on a cabinet or anything, because somehow it does happen and you will never see it until your parents tell you to clean it off. So make sure you do it in a place that you probably won't splash any dye on. Here I'm just showing a quick example of how to paint shoes or like leather, fake leather or vinyl with acrylic paint. I'm not really sure of any other method to do this, but this is my favorite way. You just get a little bit of acrylic paint on your brush, thin it out a little bit, and do light little layers, and make sure to brush out any any streaks that your brush might make. Just continue going over that area, and make sure not to get too much paint on your brush, or else it'll make a big glob and be really hard to smooth out. Eventually, what I'm gonna do to seal this paint in, which is the last step basically, will eliminate any of the fine little streaks. So just start from one corner and work your way around the boot, and it should look pretty good. They turned out to be like an emerald green, which is a really cool color, but that's not the color that I was going for with these skates. So I'm gonna show a picture real quick of what it actually looks like. The camera makes it look more blue than it is, but it's actually like really deep emerald green. But I'm gonna have to order more wheels and stoppers. but I already sketched out with a pencil on the outside part of this boot a flower that I wanted to paint on there. I was trying to make a cherry blossom, but it ended up looking more like hibiscus, so it's a mystery flower. Who knows what it actually is, but I have been out of white acrylic paint for a while, and so all I've been using is white wall paint, like an acrylic based wall paint or water based, and it works pretty good. It doesn't crack because it's like flexible, I guess. So all I do is just color block as the first steps of painting this flower, which is just making simple shapes out of different shades of the color. After doing this, I just go in with more detail.
There's a feather.
Huh. I guess I could use this time to give a little bit of description on this particular roller skate. It is by the brand Roller Derby. I can't remember what the name is. I'll probably put it in here. But it's an adjustable skate, so it goes from children's size 3 to 6, which is pretty nice if your feet aren't done growing. And it's made out of, like, the boot is made out of vinyl, so it's not any sort of leather, it's a plastic vinyl. This entire thing is vegan, which if you like to care for animals, I guess this would be cool. But it's got a plastic plate, metal trucks, which is nice. It has a bolt-on toe stop, and what else? It's about $40. It costs about $40, which is like a really cheap skate. So not the highest end skate, but in my opinion, it's pretty good for beginners. Since I am a skater, I can say something like that. I don't really like vinyl skates because if you do a lot of crazy tricks and crash a lot, these will get banged up if that's something that you care about. But other than that, they're pretty good. I'm really surprised. I did end up having to buy new wheels and new toe stops just for the look, I guess, but the wheels that they did come with, they're really small. They're really weird. I've never seen any wheels like them. But other than that, I think the truck placement is pretty good, and they're not super, I guess, crappy, you could say. They're pretty good. I'm really surprised. As soon as I got the wheels, I put them on the skates because I really wanted to see what they look like, and as well as the toe stops. And I really like them. They roll really nicely. They're a great hardness, and I would get them for myself. So I just forgot, and I just realized that I never showed you the one flower that I painted on the right skate. So I just showed you that. But right now I am taping off, well, first I should take off the wheels, which I do, but I'm taping off the sole of the skate where I do not want clear coat to get sprayed. I'm also covering parts like where the wheels go on the trucks because you don't want acrylic spray to get onto the threads or else that's how you ruin them. But taping off, and then I will head outside and spray it with an acrylic spray, which makes it super shiny and seals in the acrylic paint from, washing off or cracking off easily. Just a random thought, but these are the weirdest trucks that I've ever seen. They're like flat on the bottom, which I guess would be good for grinding, I'm not sure, but I think they just look really weird. So on the left boot we got a little bit of drippage because I got impatient on the second coat and a little bit of bubbles on the heel right there, but you know what, it's okay. I'm sure no one will notice because it's on the inside and it's what makes it unique, I guess.